Hello, my friend. You saw my video about motherhood and you asked me whether I could address the situation of women who have chosen to not become mothers and to remain child-free. And of course, we should also speak about those women who have wanted to become mothers and who have not been able to do so, because these are all very different situations. As indeed we have the different situation of mothers who become mothers because they badly want to be mothers, and mothers who become mothers despite themselves. But let's get back to the choice making. So there are more and more people, women particularly, in contemporary society who make a conscious decision not to go for motherhood. Now, I have great sympathy with them, and in many ways I am deeply grateful to them for making that decision, because as we all know, the world population is staggeringly large and rapidly becoming even bigger and bigger. So to find that there are more and more people who are willing to forego having offspring and to grasp the nettle of living their own life without this additional element of procreation is a very good thing. But it's not a straightforward thing. I know that when women go through that, partially because one of our doctoral students did her research on that topic, women who choose to be child-free, there is a lot involved in making that decision. And of course there are many hesitations and there are many pressures upon women to actually conform and do what is expected of a woman, and to find that some women feel strong enough and sure enough of themselves to say, I do not need to bring other human beings into this world in order to find my own value or in order to contribute something of value to this world. And of course, there are many ways of contributing to the world. And if you do that by your chosen career or your vocation, or you do it by your art, or you do it by raising other people's children, or maybe looking after your parents, or there are many ways in which we can give of ourselves and go through this important passageway from being a child or a teenager or a young adult to becoming a mature individual. That passageway which stops you being involved with yourself and starts you seeing yourself in this wider context, this much wider perspective, and where you seek to give some added value to the world that you are part of. And as I said, that can be done in so many different ways, but I do believe it is important that we do it. If we become self-focused or we become just negative about such things, then there is a risk of us making a kind of darkness in the world. If we are not willing to shine our own light and to use our life in order to bring something new out in this world, whatever that something new is, then there is a risk that we are not being fully alive and not making the most of this chance we've been given. So, as you will see, when we start to look at it that way, motherhood is just one of the pathways towards doing that. And there are many other ways. And of course, the same is true for fatherhood, for parenthood in general. Parenthood is by no means the kind of gold star of human existence. It is just a biological channel that allows us to go into this speeding up awareness of who we are and what is expected of us. It is one of the channels through which we come to realize that we are responsible, not just for ourselves. We are responsible for what happens around us and what we pass on to the world. We are responsible for what we bring to this world. In parenthood, that comes out clearly. If you choose not to go down that path, you will be able to tell me much better than I can what the many different aspects and facets of your life are, and how each of these are doing all these things for you as well. Learning to care for others, adding something to the world, contributing something to the world, ciphering yourself away, not seeking to be self-focused, but looking at the whole of the family or the whole of society or the whole of life, the whole of the earth. There is something about stepping outside of your safe circle into an openness where something is required of you. There are many pathways towards that, but each of us, I believe, needs to find at least one pathway. Being now a grandmother, I am not really actively a mother anymore myself, but I still find myself challenged in that same sort of way by having made a commitment to my pet, to my dog, and to have taken on that duty of care towards my dog is a great pleasure to me. And it is also a great satisfaction to see what comes out of that. I know that being committed to my clients, to my students, to colleagues, to basically adding something to the world is a very similar sentiment to the sentiment that made me want to become a mother, and that made me very sad when in my 20s I was unable to become a mother, and very relieved when I did become a mother. So I understand also something about the pain that some women feel when they want to go down that path and they cannot do it. But my message to you would be, find the many other ways in which you can use these maternal feelings and this incredible desire to care and to be close and intimate with other human beings, because your care should not be wasted, because this world needs your mothering. Even if you can't have children of your own, this world has many vacancies for that intentionality, and I hope you will find your way of contributing that inner fire, that inner love, and that capacity for connection to those who need it. Take care, my friend. There are many ways of being human, and there is no obligation to do anything in particular. Unfortunately, we have options and we have choices, and if you make the most of the choices you make. You're going to be just fine.